I want to talk to you about how to prepare and send a package properly, and I want to insist on costly mistakes to actually avoid when it comes to preparing and sending a package, okay? So let me first talk about domestic, and then I'll speak later on about international shipments. So, how do you actually send a package domestically? So, you can send packages directly from your home or office using click and ship service to do everything you need, right? So, you can pay for postage, print shipping labels, and even schedule a pickup. Here we are speaking about USPS, of course, okay? And or you can just get a few time saving tips before you bring your package to a post office location. And if you just need to find the price of shipping a package, you can use the postage calculator on USPS. You also have USPS.com, but you have a similar platform on UPS, DHL, and FedEx. So before you start, there are certain things that you will need, okay? You need the name and full address of the person or company you are sending the package to. You need packaging materials, boxes, padding, and tape. A way to pay for postage if you are sending from home. You can use stamps or create a prepaid shipping label using a click and ship service if you are going through USPS, okay? So that's important. So for some shipping methods like media mail service or sending live animals, you must bring your package to a post office counter if you're going through USPS. Now there are some. The first step you want to really think about is that you want to ask yourself, what can you send? Okay, there are some prohibited items such as like ammo, explosives, and fireworks, items containing liquid mercury, and also alcoholic beverages. Okay, so there are things you cannot actually ship. Step number two, you want to choose a shipping service. So USPS, for instance, offers a 5 core shipping services for your domestic packages. So you want to start by looking at what you are sending, then make your decision based on price, speed, and whether you need insurance, tracking, and any other services. Okay, extra services. Otherwise, you can just choose UPS, FedEx, or DHL. So that's really important. So if you want to prepare and send a package properly, step number one, you want to ask if you can send this item. Number two, you want to choose a shipping service. Number three, you want to pick and prepare your packaging. This is really important. So whether you are using a box, padded envelope, or tube, use packaging that doesn't bulge and is actually strong enough to protect what you are sending. And accurately measure the size and weight of your package so you can avoid unexpected fees, okay? So you always want to use a strong packaging with enough room to add cushioning for fragile items and to prevent items from actually shifting. Remember, your package will be going through automated processing machines and sharing space with other packages that could actually weigh as much as 70 pounds, okay? And if you are using a box, be careful. Boxes can weaken during shipping. Make sure all old logos, barcodes, shipping labels, and addresses are covered or blacked out. You also want to use enough 2-inch wide packing tape to actually close and secure all seams. But please don't wrap your box in string, cord, or twine, which really gets caught in all kinds of sorting equipment. And packages cannot be larger than 130 inches total length, the longest size, plus girth, the distance around the package perpendicular to the length. Okay, that's important. So I'm giving you a few tips for measuring packages. I want you to look on the screen here, this screenshot. So this gives you a quick idea. So that's the first screenshot. And here is the second screenshot. So I'm really explaining to you how to measure a package. Okay, so that's important. So additional fees like dimensional weights or non-standard size fees may apply. And so if you are going to use priority mail for USPS or even priority mail express service, the boxes come in standard sizes and you can get them actually at your post office location, or you can even order them online. So that's kind of cool. Don't forget to include a packaging, like in your packaging, you want to include a packing slip or a piece of paper with the recipient's name and destination address inside the box. Very important. and you want to prepare your package before you bring it to the post office. If you need packing tape, bring your own or be prepared to buy some at the post office. So to prepare and send a package properly, you want to address your package. So number one, you want to ask if you can send this item. Number two, you want to choose a shipping service. Number three, you want to pick and prepare your packaging. Number four, you want to address your package. Please write the address parallel to the longest side of the package and make sure your return address, the delivery address, and postage will fit on the same side. So if you'll be printing a shipping label with postage included, you can use that instead of a separate address label, okay? That's really important. So let me give you a few address tips here. If you think about preparing and sending a package properly, use a pen or a permanent marker. Print neatly using capital letters. And so you want to write the sender address, you want to write your address, the return address, in the top left corner. Include the following on separate lines. I'm showing this to you on the screen. So your full name or company name, the apartment or suite number, the full street address, and the city, state, and zip +4 code. You also want to write the delivery address. So write actually the delivery address in the center of the label or package, below and to the right of the return address if possible, using the same format. Again, I'm showing this to you on the screen. The recipient's full name or company name, the apartment or suite number, the full street address, the city, state, and zip +4 code. Now, there are some special US addresses, like you have a Puerto Rico, you have a US Virgin Islands, and then you have a military and diplomatic mail. So for Puerto Rico, I'm showing you on the screen here that some Puerto Rico addresses include an urbanization or community code for a specific area or development. So addresses with an urbanization, abbreviated URB, should be written on 4 lines, as the way I'm showing you on the screen here. What about US Virgin Islands? Well, Virgin Islands addresses have the same format as the standard addresses. The right abbreviation for this territory is VI, not USVI or USAVI, okay? So follow the format I have for you on the screen. What about military and diplomatic mail, like APO, FPO, and DPO? Mail to military and diplomatic addresses actually is treated differently. Do not include the city or country name when you send something to an APO, FDO, or DPO address in another country. And do include unit and box numbers if they're assigned, like the way you have on the screen here. Step number 5, you want to calculate postage and add insurance or extra services. So if you want to prepare and send a package properly, you have to understand that package is the price you pay to send something, plus any extra services you might buy, right? It will depend on a few things. You can use the USPS postage calculator or the UPS or the FedEx postage calculator to see how much you'll need to pay. You can pay for a postage at a post office, use stamps, you might need a lot, or in many cases, even buy postage online. And, you can do that at click and ship service, okay? So that's important. And now, how do you pay for postage? Well, it really depends on where you are at. But usually, you can really pay at the post office counter, at a self-service kiosk, using stamps, or use a click and ship service. So that's kind of cool. Now, there could be additional fees. So if your package is bigger than 1 cubic foot, like 12 by 12 by 12, or 1728 cubic inches in volume, dimensional weight, you have to pay more. If you are required to pay the dim weight rate and you don't, you will be charged an additional fee. So something to really think about. Step number 6, you want to ship your package, okay? So how you can ship your package depends on how, on a few things, like how heavy or thick it is, and if you use stamps or not. If your package is less than 1/2 inch thick and weighs less than 10 ounces, you can use postage stamps and drop off your package by putting it in your mailbox for a carrier pickup, dropping it in a blue collection box or a post office lobby drop-off box, or even requesting a free pickup. So that's totally important. Now, if your package uses stamps and is more than 1/2 inch thick or weighs more than 10 ounces, you must take it to a post office counter and give it to the retail associate at the counter. Let me give you a few package postage pro tips. Make sure the weight is accurate. Round up on weights. Check the dimensions. So if you are using your own packaging, dimensional weight may apply. So always enter your package's dimension in the price calculator and use the correct package label. Okay, that's important. So that's for domestic. How do you prepare and send a package properly domestically? Let's talk now about international. Let's really talk about that real fast. So for sending letters under 3.5 ounces and large envelopes under 15.994 ounces to other countries, it's just better to really see the shipper that you are using, okay? So before you start, you want to have the full name of the person or company you're sending the item to, and you want to have a comprehensive list of things you're sending and their value for the customs form. Examples, you want to put men's cotton shirts, not clothing, okay? You want to have a printer. If you are printing your customs form, you can really do this fast. And also packaging materials like boxes, padding, and tape, okay? You should really know that some packages to other countries, sending packages to other countries is actually different from sending packages inside the US. In terms of tracking, in terms of rules, in terms of things you can't send, in terms of customs forms, in terms of consequences, okay? Basically, when I say rules, there are more rules, laws, and regulations that you must follow from USPS, the US, and the destination country, and you are responsible for following all of them. I mean, all of them, okay? So step number one, you got to really ask yourself where, what, and how much can you send. So find the country you are sending the package to in the like on your shipper's website. So you have to really be clear about what you're not allowed to send to that country, how much of it you can send, what shipping services you can use, and other country specific information. So that's important. Okay. Now, how much can you send? Size and weight limits. I'm showing this to you on the screen here. So for the service, this is for USPS, but it's pretty pretty illustrative. So the service, Priority Mail Express International, Priority Mail International, First Class Package International Service, First Class Mail International, and Air Mail and back. So I'm showing this to you on the screen. Step number 2, you want to choose an international shipping service, okay? So USPS, for instance, offers 5 different services for sending international packages, and some services are only available to certain countries or for certain types of or even amounts of contents, okay? So here is, I'm showing you on the screen a table that allows you to compare USPS international shipping services. So you have a Priority Mail Express International, you have Priority Mail International, First Class Package, First Class Mail International, and Air Mail and bags. That's important. Now, so if you think about USPS exclusively, choosing a USPS international service depends on how much you want to spend, right? It's all about your budget. It's all about affordability. Also, how quickly you want it to arrive, the country that you are sending to, what you are sending, actually its size, shape, and weight, and if you need tracking or other special features. For example, one of USPS most popular services, First Class Package International Service, can only be used for items weighing less than 4 pounds, 64 ounces, and worth less than $400. Okay, so be aware of that regulation. So if USPS is not allowed to accept your international package, for example, it's bigger than USPS maximum size limit, you will need to choose another carrier. You also have the third step here, you want to prepare your box, okay? So pick and pack your box. So pack your box to protect your contents and to make sure the box arrives intact. So use a sturdy box with enough room to add cushioning for fragile items and to prevent items from shifting. If you are reusing a box, make sure that all the markings, shipping labels, and addresses are completely covered or even blacked out. Write down each item for actually when you like you want to write down each item, how much it weighs and how much it is worth. You will need this info for your customs form, and tape your box so that it closes flat on all sides and reinforces the flaps with 2-inch wide packing tape. So that's something to really think about. Step number 4, you want to write the address, okay? So you want to write the address parallel to the longest side of the package, and make sure the address and postage will fit on the same side. Very, very important. Now, international address formats are really different for each country. You will need to write the delivery address in English. If you need to use another language, you have to add the English translation after each line. And you want to actually print your return address and the delivery address clearly on the same side of the box where you will be putting your postage to help ensure your package is delivered on time. So let me talk to you about some international address format tips. You want to print addresses neatly in capital letters. Use a pen or a permanent marker, and don't use commas or periods. So let me talk to you about the writer center address. So write your address in the US, the return address, in the top left corner. Include the following on separate lines. I'm showing this to you on the screen, okay? That's for the right center address. Next, you have the right delivery address. Generally, you'll write the delivery address in the center of the label or a package below and to the right of the return address, if possible. You must write, once again, I want to insist on that. You must write the delivery address in English, though you can include the delivery address in another language like Russian, Greek, Hebrew, whatever, okay, Japanese or Chinese. If you write the English translation after each line, many countries use different address formats. For example, the postal code might go before the city. So get specific info about other countries' postal addresses by actually going to the USPS website, okay? So generally, you want to include the following on separate lines: the recipient's full name or company name. I'll put this on the screen. The full name, address, the city, subdivision like province, state, county, and postal code, and the country. Let me give you an example here. You have on the screen, here is an example for the United Kingdom. This is how you actually do it for the UK. Step number 5, you want to calculate and apply postage, okay? And so if you are going to use stamps or pay your postage at a post office location, you can use actually the pricing calculator to actually find things out faster. Make sure you are paying the correct postage. Make sure the weight is accurate. Use a kitchen scale or postal scale, or have your package weighted at a post office. Include the weight of everything, including packing materials. You want to round up on weights. Some USPS products round up to the ounce, while others round up to the pound. For example, if you are sending priority mail international package that weighs 5 pounds 2 ounces, you would round up to the pound and pay the 6-pound rate, okay? So just be aware of that. And you want to use the right shipping service. For example, first class package international service can only be used for packages up to 4 pounds 64 ounces and worth under $400, okay? And also think about the add-on services such as insurance, registered mail, return receipt, and certificate of mailing. Step number 6, I want you to create your customs forms and labels. So if you're thinking about preparing and sending a package properly, you have to fill out a custom form when you send packages to other countries. All customs forms must be computer generated, okay? So if you use, for instance, for USPS, if you use a click and ship service to print your own postage, it will print a customs form for you. If you'll be paying for your postage at the post office, you can save time by printing your own customs form at home using the USPS customs form online tool. Otherwise, you can bring your package to the post office, fill out form PS 2976R, and give it to the USPS retail associate, so they can create and print your customs forms, okay, for you. Next, you want to send your international shipment, okay? So once your package has the correct address, postage, and customs form, how you send it will depend on its size and weight, whether you used stamps or paid for postage online, and if it had a computer-generated customs form. So you can always give your package to a clerk at a post office. In some cases, and that's really important to remember, you can also schedule a free package pickup or drop-off package. You can drop off your package in a blue collection box, okay? When it comes to international packages, what you can put in a blue collection box or post office lobby, post lobby drop, is a little more complicated. You may be able to drop off your international package in a blue box if it meets the following conditions. Your package has a computer-generated customs form, and you paid for the postage online, like using Click and Ship, and it weighs less than 10 ounces and is less than 1.5 inch thick, okay? That's important. And you can also schedule a package pickup, actually, to make things a lot easier for you, okay? So, yeah. So in today's conversation, I explained to you, in closing, I explained to you how to prepare and send a package properly. I spoke about domestically, but also internationally. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.